What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. What's better than one-shotting things in the Division? Not much. It feels really good, and as you've seen from the footage that I've just played, it's just a lot of fun. Weak points, chungers, it all just works. So that's the build we are going to talk about today. Just starting off a little bit different, I want to say thank you to Barry for the brand new intro. I'm sure you'll all agree it's way better than my static picture that I used to have. Super nice, super clean. Thanks to him for that. And now let's get started with all the regular stuff. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and hit the bell so you are notified when I upload more Division videos. Even better, come on over to Twitch and hit follow because I could be streaming live right now. And if you need a community Discord, if you need any help in these raids or getting an Eagle Bearer or Ravenous or Regulus, Legendary missions, you'll find the link to my community Discord down below in the description. And with all that said, let's get started. So, first of all, we're going to talk specializations. Now, for this one, if I'm doing Dark Hours raid, I tend to take Survivalist, just so I can use the crossbow to blow up the weak point at the beginning. Now, I bet you I've made a mistake, and I have. So even though I was one-shotting the weak points, I didn't even have the pistol damage in the actual build set up, because I got rifle damage, assault rifle damage, and light machine gun damage for other builds. I don't really use a rifle too much at the moment, so I'm going to unspec that just for next time I play it. But don't be like me, make sure you set it up right. So even with making that mistake of the damage from the pistol, so the damage numbers will increase by around 15% than what you saw at the beginning of the video, you're going to need to get yourself a D50, and we were still able to one-shot the weak point. So if you want to spec into the other main guns because you don't really want to leave it in pistol damage all the time, that's going to be absolutely fine. You're going to need to get yourself one of these, a D50 with damage to target out of cover, and I use Flatline because it's a lot of extra damage. 15% amplified damage to pulse enemies is absolutely brilliant. The next piece is a little bit tricky to get. If you've not got a Ravenous already, if you're on PC, by all means come and check me out on Twitch. I can help you out, or jump in my community Discord. We can get you hooked up with one. But the reason we want it is we want the blue side damage buff. Now, people don't necessarily understand that because the blue one seems to give you damage, but it gives you armor. But when you've got stacked armor, the next shot is amplified damage, and that's what we use to our advantage. You see in the clip beforehand, I stack up as much blue as I can really quickly, so then I can switch to my pistol and take advantage of all that damage from that next shot. You can see here at the bottom, when detonated, each offensive primer deals 100% extra weapon damage, while each defensive primer grants 4% bonus armor and 10% amplified damage to armor plates for 5 seconds. But the primer effectiveness is doubled at 10 stacks. So you've got to get 10 stacks in quick. That's why you see it do it really quickly, so that you get that extra damage. Your other gun can be whatever you want. It's going to be your ad clear gun, because the Ravenous isn't really great at that. I just use the shield splinterer, damage to target out of cover, and perfect optimist. It's just a nice all-round gun that does a lot of damage. Okay, so let's start looking through the rest of the build. It's all high ends apart from one other exotic piece, so it's pretty easy for you to put together, and you've probably got most of the pieces already in your stash. First up is going to be the punch drone. The reason we want this is obviously it's got the 20% extra headshot damage buff, which is really nice. I've just got weapon handling and headshot in here as well, just because I use this actually on other builds where I require some stability or, you know, reload speed and things like that. You could put critical hit chance in here though if you really wanted to scale for even bigger numbers, even though you don't need the extra damage. And obviously the brand set bonus being D&H gives us 20% pistol damage as well. So next up is the chest piece, and we're going to use a sacrifice. The reason being is 1 piece bonus for Providence gives us 10% headshot damage. We're actually going to use 2 Providence, so we're getting 10% critical hit chance as well. Weapon damage, headshot damage, crit chance, and headshot damage in the mod slot with perfect glass cannon. Now, yes, this can be rough with ads. You've got to be careful. I know the raid pretty well that I've been using this in, so I know when they spawn, I know where they spawn from, so I can always be ready. But it can catch you out if you're not careful. We might as well move on to the backpack after this because it's our second Providence piece. This is the gift with weapon damage, headshot, weapon handling, and headshot damage with perfect vigilance. Don't worry if you've not got a gift though, you really don't need it. Just a regular Providence backpack. There's 1 second difference between the vigilance, it means nothing. So just a regular Provi backpack will do the job here perfectly fine. After this, we're going to look at the HG gloves. Reason being, they give 15% headshot damage, weapon damage, headshot damage, and I've got weapon handling on here as well, but that could be critical hit chance. If you're having a hard time getting the HG gloves, they are pretty difficult to farm. This could be contractor's gloves, or it could be even, you know, it could be Walker Harris gloves if you really want it to be as well, and you'll still get enough damage from having them in place. It's just that these give just a little bit more. And then we're going to use an old school best in slot friend, the Fox's Prayer. Weapon damage, damage to target out of cover with headshot damage. Last but not least with the gear, we're going to use the Dodge City Gunslinger's holster. And that's because, you know, it comes with headshot damage, weapon damage, what we need. And it gives us the huge shot that from when we're building up with our primary weapon, we let it build up, we switch over to it, and it uses all of the buff that it's built up and gives us a huge damage boost on our pistol. Amplified with everything else that we've just talked about, and it allows us to hit them really high numbers. For skills, you can use a regular pulse. I like to use the remote pulse because remember we've got flatline on the pistol, so I just kind of drop the remote pulse and then I can kind of get on with it and just do it. It stays around for like a minute, so you've not got too much to worry about. Just make sure you drop it just before you start doing the stacking. And it's got quite a big radius. You can see 15 meters. So just get it somewhere near Razorback or throw it somewhere near Razorback and you'll be absolutely fine. We're going to use the Revive Hive for extra life because we are squishy, because we've got glass cannon on and we're not going to shield or any other kind of defenses. The pulse is definitely not going to defend us. So Revive Hive definitely recommended for your other skill. Looking at our stats, we're not really bothered about any of the stats on anything apart from our pistol. And as you can see here, we've got a whopping 26% critical hit chance, 58% critical hit damage, but 250% headshot damage. And that's what the holster's going to do. It's going to take all that bonus and it's going to turn that into that big number. That's what the holster does. It takes all the headshot damage and allows you to hit anywhere as headshot damage. And that's what provides you with the really big number, allowing you to one-shot the weak points, one-shot the chunga in the backside, and all them kind of things as well. Quick overview of the build, so pause the video now if you need to see it as whole, but there it is. You could perhaps run demo, give damage to target out of cover bonus to the rest of your teammates, things like that. Maybe sharpshooter, give them a headshot bonus and things. So you've got a bit of play with this here as well. Like I said, versatility wise, it's just easier if I have that on so that I can shoot the weak points to maybe help out my teammates just a little bit more. So it really doesn't matter. I only really wanted to ever get this build to the point where it could one-shot the weak points, and that's kind of it. It doesn't need to do any more damage, although it's nice sometimes to see pretty big numbers. We've had 250 mil before and things like that pretty easily because you can stack Coyote's masks as well if you're short on damage, and there's all these other options that you've got. So if you're putting the build together and you find that you're not quite one-tapping, that's sometimes good anyway, because it gives you enough time then for your team members just to help you out with a bit of regular damage, or switch to your secondary gun and just finish it off. Don't worry if you're not min-maxed, it will still do a lot of damage and just help you speed up that bit of the raid. That's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it made sense. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching, agents. Thank you again to Barry for the brand new cool intro. I really like it. And yeah, don't forget to hit subscribe. I'm grinding to 10k. If you've not already hit subscribe, please do consider doing it and helping me out. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Maybe check me out on Twitch and maybe check me out on Twitter as well. And I'll see you in the next one, agents. Bye-bye.